Today's story is titled, The Secret of the Silver Compass. In the lively harbour town of Seabrook, where fishing boats bobbed like sleepy ducks and gulls swooped across the sky, there lived a curious girl named Amara. Amara was 11 years old, bold and bright, with wind-tangled hair and knees that were almost always scraped from climbing somewhere she wasn't supposed to. She loved adventures. She loved mysteries. She loved finding shortcuts. In fact, if there were a long road and a short road, Amara always chose the short one. "Why take the slow way?" she would say with a grin. "There's always a faster path." But sometimes, faster isn't better. And sometimes, shortcuts don't lead where you think they will. One rainy afternoon, when the ocean was too wild for boats and too cold for swimming, Amara climbed into her grandfather's attic. The attic smelled of salt, cedar wood, and old stories. Her grandfather, Captain Elias, had once been a sailor who travelled to distant lands. He had shelves filled with maps, old spyglasses, coiled ropes, and carved wooden boxes. Amara loved rummaging through them. That day, tucked inside a dusty chest, she found something small and shining, a silver compass. It was heavier than it looked, with delicate markings around the edge. But unlike any compass she had seen before, this one had no north, south, east, or west. Instead, the directions read, patience, honesty, courage, kindness. Amara frowned. That's strange. As she tilted it, the needle spun wildly before pointing firmly toward the attic window, toward the cliffs, toward the old lighthouse. The lighthouse had been abandoned for years. Its paint peeled like old parchment, and its door creaked even when there was no wind. But it was still strong, standing tall against the waves. The compass needle trembled as Amara approached. Patience. The word glowed faintly. She pushed open the lighthouse door and stepped inside. The air was cool and smelled of sea spray. The spiral staircase stretched upward into shadows. Amara didn't hesitate. She climbed quickly. Too quickly. Halfway up, she slipped on loose sand and nearly fell. Her heart pounded. "Okay," she muttered. "Maybe not so fast." She climbed more carefully the rest of the way. At the top, she found something surprising. A small wooden chest, locked. The compass needle shifted. Patience. Amara searched the room. She tugged at the chest. She shook it. She tried to pry it open. Nothing worked. Frustrated, she sat down with a sigh. Minutes passed. She listened to the wind outside. She noticed a loose brick in the wall. Behind it was a tiny key. The chest opened easily after that. Inside lay an old map of Seabrook, with markings she had never seen before. Sometimes waiting reveals what rushing hides. The map showed a trail along the cliffs leading to a place marked with a star. Amara's eyes sparkled. Treasure. Of course. She raced down the lighthouse stairs and followed the trail. But when the path split into two, she didn't study the map carefully. She chose the narrower path because it looked quicker. After all, she loved shortcuts. The trail grew steeper. The rocks became slippery. Soon she found herself stuck between two large boulders. She couldn't move forward. She couldn't move backward easily either. The compass needle quivered. Honesty. Amara swallowed. She didn't want to admit she had chosen the wrong path, but she had. "I should have followed the map," she whispered. She carefully climbed back the way she came and returned to the split. This time, she studied the map properly. The wider path curved gently and safely toward the star. Shortcuts sometimes lead to trouble. As Amara continued, she saw a small boat pulled up on the sand below. Beside it stood a boy about her age, staring at the ocean. He looked upset. "Hey," Amara called down. "Are you lost?" The boy hesitated before answering. "My name's Leo," he said quietly. "I was supposed to meet my uncle here, but I think I came to the wrong spot." Amara looked at her map. The star wasn't far ahead. She felt tempted to leave quickly. Treasure was waiting. But the compass needle shifted again. Kindness. She climbed down to him. "I have a map," she said. "Let's check together." They studied it side by side. Leo smiled faintly. "My uncle told me to wait by the lighthouse if we got separated." Amara blinked. The lighthouse. She knew exactly where it was. "I will show you," she said. Together, they walked back along the safer path. When they reached the lighthouse, a tall man rushed forward and hugged Leo tightly. "Thank you," he told Amara warmly. She felt something glow inside her. Helping someone felt better than racing toward treasure. After saying goodbye to Leo, Amara returned to the trail. She followed it carefully this time. It led to a cave hidden behind thick vines. The compass needle pointed strongly toward courage. Amara hesitated at the cave entrance. It was dark, very dark. Her heart beat faster. She didn't like deep darkness. But she remembered climbing the lighthouse slowly. She remembered choosing the safer path. She remembered helping Leo. Courage didn't mean not feeling afraid. It meant stepping forward anyway. She lit a small lantern and entered. Inside, the cave walls shimmered with crystals reflecting her light. At the far end stood a stone pedestal. On it rested another small chest, unlocked this time. Inside was no gold, no jewels, just a journal. She opened it. It was her grandfather's handwriting. The journal told the story of Captain Elias's greatest lesson. Years ago, he had chased treasure recklessly. He ignored warnings. He made rushed decisions. He took shortcuts through dangerous waters. He nearly lost his ship and his crew. Only by slowing down, listening, and choosing wisely did he guide them safely home. At the end of the journal, he had written, "The greatest treasure is not gold. It is the character we build along the way." Amara sat quietly in the cave. The compass lay warm in her hand. She understood now. The compass wasn't leading her to treasure. It was guiding her choices: patience, honesty, kindness, courage. Those were the true directions. As Amara left the cave, she noticed storm clouds gathering over the sea. Boats were still out fishing. The waves were growing rough. She looked at the lighthouse. The light inside hadn't been lit in years. Without it, ships might struggle to find shore safely. Her heart raced. She could go home and stay dry, or she could climb the lighthouse again. The compass needle pointed firmly to courage. Amara ran. She climbed the spiral staircase, carefully this time. She found old lantern oil stored in a cabinet. Her hands trembled as she cleaned the glass and lit the flame. Soon, the lighthouse beam cut through the darkening sky. Far below, boats shifted direction, steering toward safety. The storm passed without disaster. The next morning, Seabrook buzzed with gratitude. Fishermen spoke of the unexpected lighthouse glow that had guided them home. Leo waved excitedly when he saw Amara. Captain Elias smiled knowingly when she returned the silver compass. "You found it," he said softly. "I think it found me," Amara replied. He nodded. "Did you discover the treasure?" Amara smiled. "Yes." "And?" "It wasn't gold." Captain Elias laughed warmly. "That's the best kind." Years later, Amara grew into a wise explorer. She still loved adventure. She still sought new paths. But she no longer chased shortcuts blindly. She followed her compass, both the silver one and the one inside her heart. And whenever young sailors asked her how to find their way, she would say, "Choose patience when you want to rush. Choose honesty when it's hard. Choose kindness when it's inconvenient. Choose courage when you're afraid." Because those directions never fail. And in Seabrook, whenever storms rolled in, the lighthouse beam shone brightly, reminding everyone that the best compass is the one guided by good character. The end. Morals of the story. Shortcuts aren't always the best path. Patience reveals solutions that rushing can't see. Honesty helps us correct our mistakes. Kindness matters more than personal gain. Courage means doing what's right, even when it's scary. True treasure is a strong character. Wise choices guide us better than speed. If you enjoyed this story and found something meaningful in it, please consider subscribing to this channel. Turn on your notification bell so you'll be among the first to know whenever a new story is released. Don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. And if this story touched your heart, kindly share it with others who might enjoy the journey as well. Your support helps these stories reach more people and continue inspiring young minds, nurturing good values and touching hearts, both young and old, everywhere.